of America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.
Yes, big up. Welcome in to the official preview show. But it's another episode, though. The Untitled Series, episode 176. I look disheveled, but I am not mentally. I'm a little bit emotionally, just because it's been so damn long since I've seen Tottenham. And if I remember the last time I watched Tottenham, it was like, damn, that wasn't too good. But how are you doing? How's everybody doing? I hope you are too blessed to be stressed on this fine evening. I'm trying to make up my mind. Did you need the wingman? Well, to answer the person who just sent me a message, you beautiful bastard. Probably shouldn't have said bastard twice in the first 3 minutes of a video, but hey, here we are. I have nobody. It's just me. Just me. Solo dolo. So if you want to join, feel free. You can always join. But pick up everybody in the chat. All you beautiful bastards. Let's say hello before we get going. Big up Adrian Shroka. Long time no see, pal. How you doing? Big up to you, my brethren. How are you? Good to see you. Taka is here. Big up Taka. I did a whole fucking career mode for you, my guy. I did episode 5, and you weren't even there. But I hope you were having a good night. Nonetheless, big up to Drew Lala. Hello, Drew Lala. Evening, Jacob and Chatters. Hope you're all too blessed to be stressed. Hey, there we go. Talking to me nicely already. Big up, Drula. How are you doing? Donovan just finished his Monday. Happy day to you, sir. Big up, AK. Very nice to meet you on the hangout yesterday. That was a lot of fun. Big up to Destiny. Says big up, Jacob and Chat. Big up, Destiny every single time. Kenobi. How you doing, my Madrid, whatever you call yourself. Big up Kenobi. Big up to Kuva, the one and only. Such YouTube royalty he is, this lad. But there we are. I just had a little sippity sip. But big up to yourself, AK. Good to see you here. Tom Thacker. Hello. Jess is here. Big up to you, Jess. Big up Sean. Spurs Talk Show. Fraudulence. Such fraudulence. I'm going to play Sean just 5 seconds. Allow me 5 seconds to play this video for Sean.
Good.
There you go. That's all you get. Sounds about 7 seconds, but that's for you, Sean. Big up, Ron. How are you doing, Ron? Big up. We will win this easy. Thanks for reminding me. We do have a poll in the chat. Predictions for Luton versus Spurs. So right now, 88% says Tottenham win out of 26 votes. Big up to everyone who's voted. Big up to everyone who's liked the video. Whatever you're watching on, whatever platform, the 3 you could be watching on. I hope you're doing well, and big up to yourself. And speaking of doing well, we're doing oh so swell now. Oh yes, we are cooking with hot grease now. Guess who we got? A guest. I said I was by myself. I lied. Hello, Kuva.
How's it going, Jacob?
How are you, my friend?
Okay.
It's getting late there for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit late. I might not actually be on for the duration this time. I must admit I'm pretty tired, but you know,
well,
the Jacob signal went up in the sky. You've got to answer, haven't you?
The part you may like to hear is my wife at any moment is going to be like, Jacob, it's time for you to stop playing in the studio. And the metaphorical lights on the street will come on. So this can't be a long episode. I can't make it a long episode. So that's good news for both of us. But
for everybody.
Either way, we're not holding you here against your will. So just want that disclaimer. Kuva is not.
You could if you wanted to. I mean, I'm okay with it.
Oh man, but let me just ask you off the top. Tomorrow we go. Well, we're at home. I was going to say go, but the Mad Hatters are going, rather, to Tottenham Hotspur. Oh, excuse me. I didn't mean to click that.
Damn.
How you feeling?
What
3-0 versus Fulham last time we played. How you feeling now?
What was that clip you didn't mean to play?
It wasn't a clip. It was a still photo.
Oh, yeah. I'll see.
Yeah,
oh, yeah. You don't want to play that by mistake.
I didn't mean to, I didn't. I was clicking around, and the StreamYard's very fancy right now.
Every
So.
5 seconds it comes up. Yeah.
Oh, wait, I was gonna click another one. Oh, didn't mean to click that.
Terrible shame. You've lost control, mate.
The show's really going downhill here.
If I was to now see a picture of Romero on a swing or something like that, that'll just be terrible.
You know what? Since I've changed StreamYard's accounts, I don't actually have it on. I need to upload it. You know what? I'm working on it.
Does he know?
I don't think he knows. Because where was that? Was that this summer that photo came out?
Possibly before. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I don't really remember, but I think I found. Oh wait, there's a good one. This is a good one. This is always a good one to have. Let me upload that. It's not the one you were speaking of, but it's one to show you.
That's the other one I was thinking of.
This is a good one. Yeah, this is a really good one.
It's a wholesome one for Romero, isn't it? Yeah.
It's a very beautiful photo, I might add.
Assassinate the opposition, look after mum.
Exactly.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
If Jason Statham at the end of the movie just killed everybody and then left, they'd be like, oh, he's not really a human. He's kind of robotic. What separates him and the Terminator? Love for their mother. That's what I would say.
That's right.
So we can all think about that. Real quick, big up to George gifting a membership to Mud FC. In the mud, you shall no longer remain unless it's by choice. And big up to you, George, every single time. Thank you so much for gifting that membership, making the family just a little bit bigger. Isn't that sweet? But Luton, a lot of injuries for Luton. So I've seen, so I've been told, or maybe this is what the media wants me to believe. Here it is. There it is. Look at this. We're cooking now. It says here Luton are set to be without. Oh, wrong window. I meant to zoom this one in. It says Luton are set to be without 10 first-team members tomorrow. Marvelous in Kamba, not so marvelous that he couldn't be out there, I would say. Sambi Lakonga, Tom Lockyer, Amari Bell. I wonder if he's going to get saved by the bell. Mads Anderson. They only have Happy Anderson tomorrow. Dan Potts, he's actually a streamer. He has a channel, the guy Dan Potts.
Yeah, he does. So, that's right. Yeah.
It's really nice of him to go ahead and say I'm injured because he's going to have to, I'm assuming, do streams on the day. So big up to Dan Potts.
That would be really good. Declare himself, unfit, unavailable. He's on the stream.
He's like, I said I can't play. Doesn't mean I can't speak. My jaw wasn't broken. So that's a good. Come on, that's a good excuse. Gabe Osho, which here in America we have a thing called OSHA, and that is basically like workplace safety program. Whereas if you break OSHA,
he's not doing very well, is he?
No, he got injured on the job. So OSHA, OSHA needs some OSHA. That's a good one, Kuva. I need to put that in my back pocket. I got to watch along tomorrow, so I gotta have some of this good material. So Gabe Osho needs some OSHA because he's broken. Well, actually, I'm not even going to be reminded to say his name because he's injured, so he's not going to be in the match. So it's actually kind of disappointing. But Jacob Brown, that's a great first name. Chidozie Ogbene, who's
Bobby K would say that the last name was really good as well.
Oh, Brown. Who doesn't like?
Yeah, absolutely.
Do they have UPS in the UK?
Yeah.
What can Brown do for you? What?
Same as everybody else. Throw the parcel in the hedge and just get out of
that. Sprinting away. Fuck you. It's like a ding-dong ditch, but you get a present. Which there was actually a big discourse over the ding-dong ditching, or is it knock, knock, and run, or whatever, and a bunch of people had different names.
Hey,
is that what it is? They called it ding-dong ditch, where I'm from. Ding-dong ditch.
By the way, you don't need to be Einstein to work out what it involves, really, do you?
Well, thanks for taking all my credibility, Kuva. I was actually feeling pretty good about myself that I was able to decipher the hieroglyphics that were...
all right, okay, then you do need to be Einstein to work it out. Is that better?
Yes.
You need to be real Hawking.
Lucky for you, I am Einstein.
That kind of
per your-
encryption level, you've got to be Hawking to decipher that. Yeah.
Kuva. This is why our shows always go for so long, because
Is
you
that
distract
football?
me
Who
and then I
knows?
think about Oh, geez. The injury list. That's what we were reading. Chidozie Ogbene, who's they've labeled as the fastest man in the Premier League. I'm saying behind Mickey Van de Veen. That's just for me personally. Elijah Adebayo.
We used to have a player back in the 1980s called John Chidozie, and he was lightning quick as well.
When I worked for the Dallas Cowboys, they drafted a
tribute thing.
Yeah. Well, he's stepping away. He's too much. He's respecting the prior Chidozie, because I knew a Chidozie. Chidozie. Well, fuck, I'm forgetting his last name. But he got drafted by the Dallas Cowboys when I worked there.
Maybe that was the last name as well, because he was like super quick.
Maybe.
Chidozie.
And then they just flipped it and reversed it like Missy Elliott. Isn't that quite nice?
Maybe. Or not.
Well, Elijah Adebayo is also supposed to be out. He's the guy, if you remember the first time we played Luton Kuva. He had an open goal, ball at his feet, and he said, "You know what? I'm gonna do. What would Timo Werner or Brennan Johnson do versus Fulham in this situation? They would make sure that this ball does not go in the back of that net." And he did that. So he kept it from going.
It was a it was quite a mess, really, wasn't it?
It was not good.
You can't even say it was a missed shot, because he didn't really hit it with his foot, did he?
He kind of scuffed it. It was his ankle, really. They kind of hit it with, right?
Ankle or off the shin or something like that, off his knees. So it was bad anyway. But
well, to be fair, this is a player. Yeah, they were very tough for us at the old Kinney. I'll never forget old Kenilworth Road. If I never see you again, Luton, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget the good times at the old Kinney. But Elijah Adebayo, actually, he stood out to me when I watched Luton in the playoffs last season. So I admitted I wasn't an avid Luton watcher in the championship last season, but I did watch, admittedly, when they were in the playoffs, because I like to watch those and see, all right, who potentially looks dangerous. And I remember seeing him, and I looked into him because I thought he was a big, strong, fast winger, and that's a great thing to have in a forward. Big size, strength, and speed, and like, oh, he's pretty good. And I'm about to sneeze at any moment, so excuse me, but he has scored, I think, a hat trick or 4 goals in a game he had recently, and he's actually kind of been getting pretty decent GA as of late. In the beginning of the season, he was struggling, and he struggled versus us. We were benefited that, but
he's one of those with that potential to sort of destroy your team, although 9 out of 10 times it just won't happen, sort of thing. I think that's what we really like about Luton this season, isn't it? They've got a lot of players that you really wouldn't think anything of them, but they're kind of playing to the maximum of their ability. And it's like we see a lot of heart there, and I think people have taken to them for that. That they've really got a lot of fight in them for their limited resources.
Yeah. I actually want them to stay up. Now that Nottingham Forest got that point deduction, they might find themselves staying up. So
it's possible.
Maybe. But I think he's a talented player. But this does say here, 6 of those names that I just mentioned, they did start against us in October. So that tells me that 5 out of the 11 that were difficult for us to break down are the only ones that are gonna be there. So that gives me a little bit of hope, I suppose, in regards to that we should and could have a much better performance. And I'm not talking about a 1-0 win. I'm talking about something that I asked for a long time, which was a convincing win. And last time I got it was Aston Villa, 4-0. I'll take it. I need something like that, because if we are going to do this, sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Well, it is time for the sometimes maybe good.
You did it, didn't you? You wanted a convincing win, so we followed it up with a convincing loss as well.
You giveth and you taketh. And
that's right. The yin and the yang. It's all about balance.
Yeah. They want to remind us, just take one little piece out, a Mickey Van de Veen sized Jenga piece, and the whole tower will crumble at the first sight of any resistance. So it's quite
Well,
nice.
I've got another theory. It's like the team saying, "Look, we can be this good, but if we don't have a good summer, we can be this bad." And it's like all on the chairman there. Maybe,
Yeah.
maybe, no, maybe not.
Well, if we get Champions League, this is my fear. This is what I've always said. If we get Champions League, he's gonna say, "Nice, we did it, y'all. We did it." And that's
We've got
what
a
I
winning
don't want.
formula.
He's like, we minimally invest, and the payoffs from investments from a year's prior are now paying off in the looks of Destiny Udogie and Sar. I don't know.
Well, that's a tough one, though, isn't it? Because you could also look at it the other way round, say, we've got this extra Champions League money here, so we're going to do something a little bit special in the transfer window.
That's the hope.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what's going to kill you.
Who knows with our club? Well, as soon as you think you're going in the right direction, the wheels come off.
Yeah, they have. I just saw this. I was rolling through the comments just to make sure I said hello to some people. But big up Tom, big up Eltel. 7-inch Destroyer says, Jacob, have been watching your channel for the last 1 year. Something tells me you have lost a little bit of that spiky zest and fervor in doing what you do. What would you say to that, Kuva? You've known me for over a year.
No, you're the same. You're the same. If anything, you've.
I feel like I was gonna say, if anything, I've become worse.
Yeah, Jacob. Mikey isn't here to put the control factor on you, is he?
He let baby out baby's out the thing. I crawled out the cradle and doing as I please.
You lost a bit of zest on your watch-alongs. Yeah, right.
And a year ago, I actually didn't do watch-alongs. That was something I just started doing this season sparingly. But yeah, I appreciate you watching the channel for over a year, 7-inch. And congratulations on the 7 inches.
Pop up the last couple of days, I think.
Yeah, he probably had a different account like everyone else.
I suppose if you got 7 inches, you don't really need to go around bragging about it, do you?
I see it like same thing with parents and those stickers. My son is a honor roll student. Fuck your kid. Get out of my way is how I feel about it on the road. Who cares? But hey, be proud of it however you want to be proud of it. But I'll tell you what, I don't care. Big up Daryl Denton says, charging disabled fans in the premium seats a 50% charge for an essential personal assistant, which is also diabolical to love Daniel. Yeah. Got to love Daniel. Yeah. I did hear about that. Kuva, do you want to talk about that? I know that ain't got nothing to do with Luton, but it is relevant.
Well, it's just generally, I think, the way we treat senior citizens and disabled fans, as far as I'm concerned, they should be let in for free and provided with a hot drink, because that's what you're supposed to do to your more vulnerable people in society. That's what being a proper society should be. I think all the money that's being lost on not charging them will be made up easily by drinks, the merchandise, food at the ground. You'll get families going out. They might want to take granddad along, for example. He goes in free. He got the extra money available. Hey, let's go and get another shirt for the kids, that sort of thing. The money will be made up easily. I don't think you need to keep putting the financial burden on the people that have probably got less money than others or in a more difficult situation. And I think for a lot of people, why get charged for the entire going to the stadium experience? Why shouldn't you just have a price that reflects going just to watch a football match? The rest of it, you can choose to pay for or not. But if you're a fan, you're a captive audience.
And now so I understand.
Yeah, it's not like you can just say to any fan of any club, if it's too expensive, just go and watch somebody else. You can't.
So it's a forced personal assistant for disabled folks at the stadium. I'm getting this right?
There's I think they have to pay like 50% price or something. The assistant, something like that. I'm not sure the exact figures, but
so their tickets, the disabled people's tickets are now more expensive because of what exactly?
because we decided to change the concessions on them. It basically you got to pay more because that's the sign of the times. And apparently, Daniel Levy struggles to break even on match days at home.
What?
That's what
I'm
he said.
actually like I feel sick to my stomach processing this information.
The thing is, the trouble is, he's not the only one. All clubs are doing this. They're just penny pinch. Well, not penny pinching. They're money grabbing.
But I understand doing the little pickety pockety, right? I get that. I'm from America. I worked at the damn Dallas Cowboys Stadium when it was called Dallas Cowboys Stadium before they paid for got the naming rights to AT&T. So I know what it's like to see a business develop and find new revenue streams. But for me to put a percentage increase on a disabled person's ticket merely for the fact that they're disabled, and now you're providing some kind of that should just be hospitality. That is actually disgusting. And I guess maybe they're like, oh, they take up more surface area than a regular fan because they're chairs. I don't understand.
Here's the thing as well. The person that's caring for the disabled person, they might not even be a Spurs fan, yet they still got to pay 50% match ticket. It's just not right.
No, that's actually disgusting.
It's callous, that's what it is. But like I said, it's not just Daniel Levy. That is the kind of money-grabbing tyrant that's been finding their way into the game ever since the money got pumped into it years back. It's just got worse and worse and worse. Everything's about lining people's pockets at the top. Always will be. It's done.
That's tough. That is absolutely tough. I mean, that is an appalling decision. The rises in prices and tickets and shit, I can sit there and say, well, I get it from a business, I get it from this standpoint, like, but to put a percentage hike on a ticket price for a person who's disabled because of the mere fact that they're just disabled, that's fucked, and you're financially like ostracizing a person from. I mean, that's I don't really know where to take that.
I don't think it's not directly on the disabled person, but it's that pricing put onto the person that's with them. So effectively, you are putting an extra value on the price of going to the game because they obviously need that carer. So what's the difference? You might as well put it straight onto the disabled person's ticket. It's not going to either way. You're paying more money for something that's essential to watch a game. But yeah, that's the way it is.
No, that is. Yeah, man. That actually really sucks to hear.
For me, especially when it's a pensioner, for example, somebody over the age of 65 or elder senior citizen anyway. They've paid their dues to the club. They've spent a lifetime paying for merchandise, paying for games. Just give them a little bit of a freebie at the end there. That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, the seniors.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I just kind of threw my hands up. Like I don't really know enough about it, to really take a hard stance. But to me, the disabled people saying that's evil. That just feels evil to me. I don't know how other way to explain it.
It's an old quote. I've forgotten who it's attributed to, but might be Gandhi or someone like that. And he said the treatment of the most vulnerable people in a nation is a clear sign of its humanity. So if we're doing this kind of thing, what does it say about the club then? But I mean, I'm sure we're not the only ones doing it. But it's us being affected right now with the actions of Levy, of course. So I find it disgusting. But I do anyway. The way money has ruined this game anyway. Used to be the working man's sport. It's not anymore.
Yeah, it's yeah. Rather just preview Luton because that really sucks. I'll be honest. I don't really know what to say. But real quick, thank you, Taka, for becoming a sponsor of tonight's episode. Thank you very much, Taka. You didn't need to do this. Just I didn't mean to make you feel guilty that you weren't there at episode 5. I understand timing for everyone is a little bit different. But big up, Taka. I appreciate you spending a little dough here on episode 176. I saw this comment also from Trevor. It says, "Where is Michael, the guy you used to stream together?" He's still around. We're still cool. Everything's good. He doesn't really have the time, and he kind of like didn't really enjoy it anymore, especially during the down periods of Conte. And yeah, he didn't really enjoy it, so he doesn't want to do it, and he's allowed to do that. We're all good. I got love for him. He's enjoying himself some baseball. He became a big baseball fan, and he's enjoying himself that. But he still keeps up with Spurs. We still talk about Tottenham. He just don't come on the shows. He don't have time to. He's a big fancy boss. But big up to Michael every single time. I'm not going to take his face out of the intro. I'm not going to take his name out of the intro song. Like, why would I ever do that, you know?
Just sneak that out in a year's time or so, you know?
Big up. But big up Michael every single time. And Tom's got a 4-1 Spurs Sonny hat trick with a Romero header. I like that prediction. Feel free to save your predictions till the end. I'll try and go through everyone's there at the end as well. Mud FC says Sar is a bit inconsistent. All right. Gundalero, hello. Says pretty boy Yakub. Well, thank you. I'm captaining Son in my fantasy Premier League. I hope that's
yeah, that could be a good move.
Yeah, I hope that's true. But big up everyone. I'm still like, wow, I can't believe we're charging more. 4.8 million per match day. Yeah, we're really struggling for money on match days.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Do the executive boxes pay an extra 50% to be waited on? Great question.
Good question, yeah.
It's becoming shit, man. That's not good. I don't like that at all. I think it's that the support person friend who are now has to pay. Oh, so it's not. I don't.
So effectively, you are still charging the disabled person, really, aren't you? Because the person they're with has to get in.
Yeah. I don't know what you mean. Diddler says freebies. You okay? What do you mean freebies? I don't know. Big up Bajan Reds. How you doing? Big up every single time. Big up Taka. Nod, not guilt. Just randomly decided to super chat. Very nice. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. Big up to Fiona. How are you doing, Fiona? Good to see you. Big up Colin with Talking Ball every single time. Good to see you as well. Big up every single time. But look, I do want to keep talking more about Luton because I'm honestly disgusted thinking about the price hikes on the disabled person shit. And maybe there's going to be some more information that comes around that I'll feel a little bit better. Big up Yanis. Good to see you here every single time. But look, let's get into it, Kuva. I'm going to pull up here. Well, actually, you know what? I'm going to save this for another day. Let me bookmark this page.
Now I'm intrigued.
All right, it's Command D. That's what it is. That's what it is. It's really nothing that you can't. It's not like you can't find it anywhere. It's just a talking point. But I feel like in the sanctity of time, is that the right way to say? In the heart. For time's sake, I am not going to bring that up, and we're going to do a predicted 11. There has been some moving and grooving, some shaking and baking. Obviously, Mickey Van de Veen is back. I do have that little bit of information, and obviously, I just got these tweets bookmarked that seemed like pertinent. You know what? I need a little bit of a cleanse. I need a little bit of a cleanse. So why not we go to some Spurs karaoke? Did you like that, Kuva? Did you know anything to say? No?
Of course. How can you not? No idea what's going on.
This is Spurs karaoke night, just a little cleanse.
It's just a
Thinking
little
about taking advantage of these disabled people. Feels like they just took a person in a wheelchair and dumped them in the middle of the street and said, "You figure it out." That's what it feels like. And so, I don't know. But here's James Madison.
Now try to get back. Before the pool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest. Nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's a good my turn to someone, but I
There you go. Probably a little cleanse there. Would be nice.
I don't see it catching on very much, the song, to be honest, but you never know.
People was like very unenthusiastically. Okay.
It's kind of like when we're watching Fulham.
Fulham when they play us, or Fulham when they play anybody else?
When they played us. Yeah.
No, don't like it, Kuva. Don't like that at all. That's interesting. Hey, big up, Jess. Smash the likes. Appreciate that. Worse voice than Hassam's. That's saying something, because this man hasn't wowed me yet with his singing voice. I'll put it that way. Not saying it's not there. Not saying he's not capable of it. Just not yet have I not been blown away by it. But Kuva, let's do a little bit of a predicted lineup. Obviously, I should have done a little bit of pre-work on this and done, like, obviously Sicario, the best goalkeeper in the league, will be starting. Pedro Porro will be starting. It's definitely not going to be Emerson Royale. Udogi's going to be starting. Oh, if I could spell. There it is. I think Romero will be starting as well. And this is where the first question mark comes in, Kuva. Van de Ven has been training. Postecoglou confirmed today Richarlison's available for selection. Van de Ven's available for selection. Are you starting Mickey Van de Ven?
Yes. If he's fit to play, he plays.
Let me throw to you why I would not and why I don't want to. I think Luton's level of attackers should be able to be handled by a young man named Raduski Draguski. And if he can't handle that, we have a major problem with our backup center back. Because how can we rely on anyone in the Premier League if they can't handle a moderately average to decent recently promoted side? I guess the best way I could put it, while being like critical, while also like not just completely dunking. But this is a match our backups should be able to win, in my opinion. And he's one of those that we're saying, okay, now we're building squad depth. If this is true, we're building some kind of squad depth, Kuva. I think we don't rush Mickey back. You rush Mickey back, guess what? He tries to hit that sixth gear, tweaks it again. And then we got more important matches where we need a Mickey healthy. I would say West Ham, I believe, is next. You know what? It'd be great if I did know this information off the top of my head, who we play after. But I'm very short-sighted individual in regards to our schedule.
And I think the counter would have to be, if he's been declared fit, then he is fit. So he's not rushed back. I mean, if they're declaring him fit when he isn't fit, that's a problem, isn't it? And I'd agree with you then 100%. I think it's just there's a fear factor with Mickey van der Ven now, isn't there? If he does come back from any kind of injury, we worry he's going to do his hamstring again. I think you've got to just have a little bit more confidence in them and just play them anyway. If they're declared fit, they're good to go. I think Dragusin will get plenty of time anyway. God knows we could get injuries again during the match anyway. Plus, we can also have the option of bringing him on in the right back slot, can't we? If needed. Which also gives us the extra option of getting Porro more forward then, doesn't it?
Yeah, so like Rowan says, we play West Ham on Tuesday. I just looked. April 2nd, we played West Ham on a Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
At 1:15. Why do they do me like this? Like, I can't even do a watch along. My wife's going to be at work. What the hell's this?
Probably because people are off work and it's West Ham, so they don't want people out drinking all day before that game. That would be the reason I would have thought.
It is at the London Stadium.
Yeah, it's usually pretty prickly, to say the least. Used to be one of my favourite away games, but it was kind of that element of danger that made it so exciting, I think. You felt like you're going into the Lions' den, but a lot of the time, really hostile away game that used to be. Can't say I've been to the London Stadium, though.
Yeah, it's a very short turnaround. Saturday, and you got rest Sunday, Monday, and then you play again on Tuesday. It's kind of crammed. Postecoglou did speak about the schedule, it being crammed, and then people critiquing the club for scheduling a friendly between Newcastle in Australia 3 days after the season ends. He kind of said, that's just the way things are. Suck it up. And I don't know. I haven't really.
It's a market. It's a market we're trying to grow, and dare say our sponsors might have a little bit of a say in that as well. But then, if it was to do with the sponsors like AIA, you'd imagine we'd do more of a tour in that area, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
So
because they're Asian Pacific, right?
I think mostly it's that comes into it. Well. Or we just schedule that game just for Paul Beatty to get over to watch a game.
Yeah, he did. He got a ticket, and I'm very excited for him. Yeah. That'll be very fun for him. Big up Paul Beatty with the Hotspur Hippie. Yeah. I'm resting, Mickey. Have I convinced you yet, Kuva? Are you going to rest Mickey with me, or are you going to risk it for the biscuit? This is versus Luton.
Oh, I mean, I'm happy. I'm literally happy with either Van der Ven or Dragoshin player. I really am. I see a lot of good things with Dragoshin. Yeah, you could play him. There is merit in saying let's go careful with Van der Ven. I think both games, I don't really see his pace being so critical as they would be in other games against really pacey forwards. Possibly more against West Ham, like Kudus and players like that. Play either. I'm happy either way, mate. I really am. I think Dragoshin's going to be a top player for us.
Well, I mean, this is one of those, like, I wasn't really impressed with him versus Fulham. I was for about 30 minutes, and then I wasn't for about 60 minutes. So I just kind of feel like this is an opponent. Shouldn't be as challenging as Fulham, but it's going to be challenging nonetheless. It is a Premier League side. So to me, I feel like this is a perfect time to continue to see what we got here. You know, when you buy a car, you want to kind of see what it's got. You want to see how them pistons fire when you stomp on the pedal. And that's how I feel about Radu Dragusin. I think that he absolutely has to start. Mickey Van de Ven, he just came back. No need to rush him. We have a match on Tuesday, and I'm not even sure I'd rush him back for that either. But maybe give him more minutes. I would like to see him come on as a sub and get some minutes so we can get him up to match fitness again. Tom 81, I agree. We will need Mickey against Jared Bowen. That's a very good point.
Yeah, it certainly helps snuff him out, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's yeah, just a little like we're gonna need a few things out of this. One, we're gonna need Mickey Van de Ven 100% for the last push of this season, and two, we're gonna need to see if Radu can be the guy that can start in a Premier League match and can help us to a clean sheet. Now, when he came in, we did keep the clean sheet versus Villa, so there's the hope that he can. But this is another good opportunity, I think, for him to grow and learn more. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, the only trouble I think Dragoshin really had on his debut was it looked like he doesn't have that understanding with some of the players around him yet. It was really evident with the doggy. So that's only going to, improve by just playing more, isn't it? So there's that argument to play him in some of these games right now. Get used to it in sort of combat scenario, as it were, or do you stick with what you know's worked really well for us in the past this season, with the pace of Van der Ven as that safety net for the whole team, so he can press forward more? For me, that's what I think I'd prefer to see Van der Ven, just so we can get at Luton, stay in their half, camped in their half, really taking the game to them. It's risk reward with the way Ange wants to play the game, but we haven't seen it enough this season. So every opportunity we got to keep doing what we're supposed to be doing, got to take it, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. Paul Tucknow says start Van de Ven and Dragusin, rest Romero to upset Jacob or to see the combo. Kuva, do you think that there's any chance? I would be very upset. But do you think Romero just played a couple days ago? I did a Kutu watch along for Argentina versus Costa Rica, and he played a full 90. He was fantastic. He was fantastic.
He'll play.
Every Argentina goal.
He's vice captain for a reason. We need him back there.
Yeah, I agree. Whether it's Van de Ven or Dragusin, I think that he does have to start.
Yeah.
But hopefully Ange Postecoglou feels the same way about that. But let's keep seeing here with the lineup. Now, there has been some talk about this midfield, Kuva. What's his name did speak on it. Ange Postecoglou. He did speak on a couple midfield points. And this one's pretty quick, so I'll go through it first. Ange Postecoglou discussing on Rodrigo Bentancur deciding to play with a broken toe. He says, well, he's got 9 others. So I kind of like that. Man up. Man up. And that's very nice. Interesting, though.
I've played with broken toes. It's not a problem depending on which toe it is. If it's your big toe, you're probably not going to do it.
Yeah, the big toe is an important one. But I would say like second to the left, second on the right.
Any of the others, you just tape it to the toe next to it. It's not a problem, really.
Yeah, in basketball, like every athlete that's played at any competitive level, I think for a duration of time, has warped toes. Like I have a couple toes that are doing the little curve inside job because, when you're stopping and cutting, playing basketball for years and years, and playing goalkeeper for years and years, stopping and cutting and jumping, and that shit will wear down your toes. So hold that, Rodrigo, is what I got to say. But he spoke on Yves Bissouma's up and down in the campaign thus far. He says, quote, I think it's probably indicative of our season. He has been very good at times, but he hasn't really got a flow. He got suspended. He went away to AFCON. It's very, very hard for any player to maintain certain levels if you've not got consistency in game time and consistency in flow. He goes on to say, I think he's been better the last few weeks because it was so disruptive in the middle of the year. Like a lot of others, he wasn't getting up to the levels that he showed earlier in the year. The challenge for him is to work his way through that. I still think he's been a really important player for us this year. And when he's playing at the levels I know he can play, it makes us much more difficult team to stop.
I agree.
With that said, where are you kind of at with this midfield? A lot of people have said they're done with Bissouma. They think we should sell him on in the summer and improve on him, that he's not the guy that we should get. He got dropped by the Mali team. Mali didn't pick him for the recent internationals because they said he wasn't living up to their expectations. So he's kind of getting dunked on.
For me, there's only one midfielder that's a guaranteed starter, and that'll be Maddison, because we just do not have anybody like him. Even when he's out of form, we're just going to play him back into form. So it kind of leaves Bissouma in a bit of competition with Bentancur and Maté Sarr, who have both been very good. Now, for me, I don't think we can afford to start ignoring players that have started the season so brilliantly, like Bissouma has. And like I said, there are reasons he dropped off in form. It did dip very low. I think he's been a little bit better in recent weeks as well. Not great, but he's been doing okay. I think sometimes you've got to just grit your teeth and give them a bit of time to play, try and get some form back. But then who do you choose? We've got enough games coming up. We should be able to rotate them. He'll get some game time. Bentancur will. Sarr will. I think, and I would like to think of what happened last season. Look with what was happening with Sonny. So many fans were on his back. People were even saying, sell him. And I remember coming on streams.
They're saying sell him in the summer.
No way. Or bench him, rest him, like he's going to get his form back there. And I was always adamant, no way. A player like Sonny, you play them through until they get their form back. You've got to. They're too high a quality. I think the same with Basuma. I know people won't agree with it, but I think you're just going to persevere with him and just hope he gets that touch back, that confidence and that sort of swagger to his game. Because he was like a raging beast at the start of the season. He'd just like turn his way out.
Cruyff turns in the opposition's box. What are we talking about, man? He was cool. He was cool as a cucumber, baby.
Absolutely.
Woo! I loved watching him play the first. I think it was 8 matches, and I think it was 9 when Sarr got out. And then I was like, well, maybe it's just Sarr. And then Sarr comes back. Maybe he's missing his buddy, and he has better chemistry with him than he did with, I think, who was it? Skip that came in and started over. I can't even remember now, but there has been a disruption, I think, with what Postecoglou said in regards to his game time. You got the Reds, obviously, AFCON, to me, I still have hope that there's a player there. The player that we saw in the beginning of the season can come back. I still believe that, and I don't think you can get that back without essentially playing him. I think that, sometimes, just like you said with Son, people said, oh, he needs to be benched, he needs to be sold, he needs to be this and that because his performances weren't up to the standard we held him to. And I think Basuma would agree with that. Now, some people said he's become complacent. I like this from the Diddler. Says Basuma was cursed at Luton. The only way to cleanse it is right now is against Luton. So let him be his best versus a team where you could say it all started to go downhill for him.
I like that idea. Yeah, why not? The full arc of redemption, then, isn't it? Yeah.
Do you think Pedro Porro can play in midfield? Asks Nita.
Yeah, I think he can play anywhere on the pitch, bar goal.
Too.
I think it's just a quality player.
Yeah, he's too small for goalie. Ain't no way he could be goalie. He's so tiny.
He'd still be better than some I've seen.
You talking about me?
No, of course not. I never saw you play. I can tell you'd have been a great goalie. You'd have just been reassuring. Even if we're letting in 8 goals, it'll be fine.
Yeah, I've been like, I'm a different beast when it was game time. I'll tell you what, a little bit less calm. Anyway, Lo Celso gets into this midfield. We're building the midfield, and so I did want to bring up those tweets that I had in regards to Basuma, Rodrigo.
Tom 81 knows what I'm talking about. That's the exact goalkeeper I was thinking of.
Bobby Mims.
That's going way back. That's like late 80s, early 90s.
I don't catch the reference, but I like the last name Mims. That's kind of fun.
It's
big up internet guy.
It's a goalkeeper that came from Everton, and he looked really good when he was deputy to a Neville Southall at Everton. It was one of the world's best at the time.
Oh.
And then we bought him, and Bobby Mims turned into this sort of falling statue. He couldn't save anything. He was awful. It's like you think of.
We got one of those. We have Fraser Forster.
You think of all the worst goalkeeping mistakes any of our keepers have made in the last 20 years. That would have been a standard season for Bobby Mims.
Doesn't sound delightful to watch.
He was disastrous.
Shout out Bobby Mims and all the Mims family. Put it that way. Big up Tom. Yeah, that's all the tweets that I had in regards to this midfield. So, Madison, I agree. It's a for sure, without a doubt. Are we both in agreement of Basuma?
Right now, I would.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm kind of looking at putting a bit of cotton wool around Bentancur. I think he's still struggling a little bit after that long injury layoff. I think he's got a little niggling injuries like broken toe as well now. Just give him a little bit of a breather. Just ease him back in. He's a player we know we're going to be relying heavily on next season. He's another one that's just pure quality. So no need to rush him at the moment. We're not going to be winning the league this season. So let's let's just make sure we've got him in good working order for the start of next season. I think he'll probably get plenty of game time before the end of the season anyway.
I agree with you. Papa Matasar, he obviously starts, right? Has to.
Yeah, he has
Rowan
to.
says Lo Celso. I think Zapur would probably say Lo Celso as well.
I'm not a fan of Lo Celso. He's got skills, but I don't know. There's something about him, something about his demeanour I'm not keen on. He never feels like he's really busting a gut to do anything for the team. He's quite a stroller. Maybe it's just the way he walks or something, where he runs. It just feels like he's not. His heart isn't in it to me. Could be wrong, but for me, I just never got from him what I was hoping to get. I think he's one of these players, could be a lot more than we've seen, but I just don't see it happening.
I think I agree with you. He was great for Argentina. He was getting stuck in. He was grabbing the ball, picking it up, driving forward from our third to their half.
He's got it in him, hasn't he?
When he wears that Argentina shirt, I'll tell you what, he don't look like he runs bow-legged. He doesn't look like he has a daily discussion with the physio trainers at Argentina. He just seems like a guy who's willing to go out there and play some ball. And it's interesting because when he does that for us, it's like 50 minutes, 60 minutes, and then he's gone for 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 matches.
He does tend to have the odd player or two that are quite good around him for Argentina, doesn't he?
Yeah, like Cuti Romero, first and foremost.
First and foremost, the most famous Argentinian player of all time.
I would say the biggest Argentinian name since Argentina was founded. Cuti Romero.
Yep, let's go with it.
Marahuna is what I'm going to say to that. Who know Messi is what I would also say to that. I don't know who they are. All I see is Cuti. But yeah, he did. Did he score for Argentina? I can't remember. I did a watch along for that. I can't even remember if he did. But anyway, he doesn't get to start for me.
There's no doubt that he's got skill set. That's for sure.
There is a skill set there.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we can agree. It's just how much you get out of it. It's like that is for sure an orange. You just probably not going to get a lot of juice when you squeeze it, no matter how hard. Yeah. But alas, this front three, I haven't seen any quotes, but as far as I know, Richarlison is good based on the press conference I watched on YouTube. Charlison's healthy to go. Does he crack your front three, Kuva?
Yeah. I'd start him in the number 9 slot. I think
you're starting Richarlison in the number 9 slot.
I think Sonny's a way better finisher than him, but Sonny isn't a natural number 9 for me. I think you need somebody that's actually got a bit of physicality about them, a bit of aerial presence as well. He's the best we got for it at the moment, unfortunately. I don't think he's the greatest player, but I think it gives us a little bit more balance, assuming he's not having a really bad game, which he could. But I've seen too many games where Sonny is stuck in the middle there and we can't get the ball to him and he's completely wasted. So I think let Sonny go on that left-sided attacking role. Not playing out wide, but I mean just hovering in and around the area. Because all you need to do with Sonny is just get him a few half chances and he'll smash a few away. I still think it's his best position rather than playing centrally. So there you go. That's 2 positions sorted.
Well, I'm going to discuss a little bit because honestly, Kuva, I didn't expect you to say Richarlison for your central role. I'll put his face there just for posterity's sake while I discuss. But so you're telling me, Kuva, a back 3 of Luton sitting back in their own box away from home, I don't think they're going to be real coming out to play. So that's going to be 3 center backs and potentially Ross Barkley, Jordan Clark, one of them being that like deeper lying midfielder that it could be.
It could even be more reason for me why you don't have Sonny in the middle. Against three big centre halves, he's just not going to get a sniff.
But I was told this Ainge ball thing was to the whole sole purpose was to be in the number 9 is almost like a decoy throwaway guy that kind of pulls the pressure, and then you rely on.
Yep. Exactly. That's why I have Richarlison there.
You know, I think I see what you're cooking here. So
Yeah.
he does that. He
occupies
it's
the
just
centre halves.
But what they're going to
makes
find
those
out
runs.
after 25 minutes that only one of y'all need to worry about Richarlison, and then they're going to not pack in the middle so deep. I mean,
If only one's worrying
might be
about
right.
Richarlison,
You might be right.
If only one player's worrying about Richarlison, that's a good thing as well. He's only got one man to beat to get onto the end of a cross or something. That's a good thing to be in. Usually they got cover. They got somebody on the man, somebody covering them. If he's causing a bit of havoc in the middle there, which hopefully he does, that's little spaces. Sonny's using his intelligence. He's going to get some scraps off it.
I love it when there's a difference of opinions in the chat because you get the same answer but for different people. So real quick, the Diddler says Son is not a 9. He has no first touch, can't hold up the ball, and can't string a pass together. And the internet guy comes in and says Richie has no first touch, can't hold the ball up, and can't pass. I love that. Honestly, I think this is the type of shit I love about YouTube chats because you'll get damn near the same message. Just Richie and Son, just switch them out or
which
insert
in a
X
way,
and Y.
Which in a way sums up our problems up front at the moment. We do not have that natural replacement for Kane.
Yeah.
So I agree with both of those statements. It's just I think Richie's the best choice at the moment for it.
I'm getting more nervous thinking about this. I'm not gonna lie, just because now it's opening a whole boodle of questions for me because I'm a little bit like I feel like this system, Son as a winger in this system is going to waste by being just be there for the run in behind. And when we're playing up ball, we want you to just stand there in the fucking side of the box like this. I'm going to pass it.
This is what I'm talking about. This is where you should be looking at these inverted wingers or inside forwards as it used to be called in the old days. But Sonny's got to be in and around the box to provide the width and get to the touchline. But should be looking at the likes of a Doggy getting up there, or Basuma as well at times. It's going to be other players fulfilling that role. Sonny's going to lay it off to them outside him a few times, but he's got to get in the box on that sort of left, slightly towards the left.
I feel like it's going to be such a waste. Like I can see it already because I've seen it so many times. I just feel like Sonny's being put out there to fucking just rot on the left side. Like because to me, unless it's on a counterattack, that left wing position, Werner can do it. It's like, that's the fucking dishwasher's job. Is the way that I'm gonna reduce it a little bit. Like you're asking the host or the hostess to get back there and wash some dishes. I'm not only the host, I should be manager, motherfucker. I can be waiter, I can be dishwasher, I can be anything. I should be the manager of it all. And that's my point. It's like I feel like he is a guy with the potential to be the manager, and we're asking him to do the dishes. Damn it, we're losing out on so many things that he's good at.
Think of it this way, Jacob. If we get the ball to a player on the left-hand corner of the opponent's box, who do you want to be on the ball there, Sonny or Werner?
But if they're asking him to just lay it off to the overlap or the underlap run,
if they're there, Sonny's an intelligent player. He's not just going to do it blindly.
How many long shots did he take? I don't think he's had one long shot all season from outside the box, even when he was at the left wing. It was all just supplement the 9.
There's been problems up front. We know that.
I
don't think they don't read each other's game well enough, and far too many times.
Sonny's actually above Haaland in finishing in the league. Haaland is underperforming his expected goals. Basically, this is my dumb version of I hate using XG, but is a legitimate thing when you say he had a chance with the ball at his feet here and he shot and he missed. But that is an expected goal because of all these people statistically being able to put it away there, right? So Son's XG this season is at like an 8, if I can recall. It's around 8, a little over 8, and he has 13 goals or 14, something like that. And then with Haaland's, it's at like 25, but he's at like, or it's like 23 or 24, and he has 18 goals. So he's missing more of the chances he should put away than he, and in turn there's been others, people better at this number crunching, that proves Son is the most clinical finisher in the league. And in the top 5, I think in the top 5 leagues he's up there as well. Again, this is just what I've heard, some of that shit. I don't look into all this like that in depth, but I think it still speaks for something when Son has almost double the goals he should have, and the best finisher in the league, Haaland. You know what I mean? They are completely different players with completely different skill sets.
Son is a finesse player. He's the finishing touch to things. This is why I'm saying you can't play him in the middle against 3 centre halves, and you can't play him wide out on the wing. Both of those are a waste of him. You've got to get him in a position where he's going to have a little bit of room to just shift the ball a little bit and let it go with the shot. And that can be outside the box, just inside the box. I don't think if a team's sitting back with big centre halves, he's going to have an inch of room, and we'll probably see him fail to even have a shot in a game because we just won't get the ball to him.
Yeah. Well, I think you put a pretty comprehensive argument there for.
We could make it this really easy. Just put Son in the number 9 slot, and we just won't bother picking any others because they aren't good enough anyway.
See what you did there.
We'll just leave it.
We'll just leave it. Fuck them.
Take Richie out, put Son in the middle. Yeah, do it. Just, have you got stickers?
I think Son should be in the middle, but I think I could see I see your point. If Richarlison can be effective enough in the first few minutes to actually give these center backs something to worry about, then potentially he could be drawing the attention from these 3 center backs more. You know, if he's on this side, he's going to pull that center back. This side, he's going to pull this center back. But either way, that central center back is not going to take his eyes and body off of him. You know what I mean? But like, if you still can make those other center backs around the center back, if you can make them worry about Richarlison, but to me, that's going to be a tough task for him to do, because I think initially they're going to be like, nah, I'm not really worried about him. And that's going to be up to him to be physical, be a presence in the box, and actually hold the ball up and pass it well. I have seen him do it. I've also seen Son do it. So I actually think the Fiddler and Internet Guy were both wrong in their assessments of Richie or Son as the 9 in regards to hold-up play and passing the ball. I've seen it, and I've even seen Son even drop very deep into a left-back role to receive the ball. This is part and parcel for the way that this Ainge ball is ran. But I do agree with you to some degree. With Son out there, I hope he takes that chance. That's all I'm going to say. Because when he's been out there on the left wing, I feel like I haven't seen him shoot it from outside the box, and I need it. I need me Son Heung-min finesse outside the box going into the far post. I need it in my life. I miss it.
That's been a strange thing all season, though. We've not been taking shots from outside the box on a regular basis.
Yeah, I think Brennan Johnson has, and Richarlison has.
Or occasionally Sarr or Udogie have when they got a bit carried
Sarr
away.
has too, yeah. Romero has a goal from outside the box as well, I believe, after a corner. So hold that, anyone who's doubting. I don't know. But I can see the argument for Richarlison. I can see it. I disagree with it, but also for the sanctity of time, we are over an hour officially, so please do hit a like on the video, hit a subscribe if you haven't already, all that fun stuff. Right wing, if we're using Son as a winger, because for me, I wouldn't start Richarlison. I would start Son in the middle, and then I'm going Timo Werner and Brennan Johnson, because why not? But then people say you can't bench Kulusevski.
That's true.
And I think Werner and Johnson kind of offer you the same profile in a sense. They will get to that far post and they will miss an open goal. They will. They have pace. They will run. So I don't know.
I think Werner's just a really poor footballer. I really do. He just runs fast. That's all.
Yeah.
Brennan Johnson, he's not on fire yet, but I think there's potential for him to improve a lot. I don't know whether he will or not. He could turn out to be a complete waste of money, or maybe he's going to fit in and given enough time. I don't know. All I can say was with Werner is we saw a good player about 4 years ago, and there's been no sign of it since. So he was an absolute last chicken in the shop sort of signing when it came to the transfer window for me. I think Kulusevski's still a good footballer. He's been. I still don't understand what's happening on that right wing when we do play him, because he seems to be perfect for a player to be overlapping him as a winger, but Porro doesn't do that very often, and I don't know why we're doing it that way. If it could be a tactic to just concentrate on the left wing. I mean, I know Mourinho used to like to do that, just have one very attacking wing back and the other would sit back sometimes. I don't know. Is that it? It does. It's quite frustrating at times. But again, I think options are kind of limited at the moment. I'd probably still pick Decky, to be honest, to start the game anyway.
Yeah, I think Decky's going to start just based on merit and all the things that Ange Postecoglou preaches in regards to like what he expects out of players week in, week out. So, I don't know. I think this is pretty good predicted starting 11. Obviously, Vicario in goal, Pedro Porro, Christian Romero with Dragusin starting, and Destiny Udogie at the left back, Yves Bissouma, James Maddison, Papa Matisar in the midfield. So a few changes from what we saw from Fulham is what we're predicting here, Kuva, right? Is there anything you want to change? You sure you want to lock it in, Richie? If we're wrong, the stakes are very high, because if we're wrong here on the channel, then we lose all credibility, Kuva.
That's true. We'll get clipped.
You got to consider that.
Yeah, I'm happy to lock that in. I think that's going to be how we start.
Fair enough. Well, with this lineup, Kuva, it is time for your score predictions and your goal scores, my friend.
Well, of course, the formation's all wrong, isn't it? Because we know these players are way too far down the pitch.
You're right. Let's adjust this so you can make it more accurate. It's going to be like this. We'll have a little bit of that. Kulusevski will do this.
Well, no, he's going to cut in, isn't he, Kulusevski? He might as well put him as the extra centre forward.
There we go. You're right. He'll do that right here.
Yeah.
Or he'll do that there.
Sonny as well, because he's going to come in more.
No, he's going to be left out here to die, I think. And they're going to put Destiny there. And then it's going to be like this. And then he'll be here. This is my predicted lineup. I'll zoom it in. See. Oh, there you go. That's my predicted lineup.
Yeah, I like to call it the sort of mushroom cloud formation.
You know, when you're attacking and your formation resembles that of a smoke cloud, like a recently detonated bomb, I think the science is adding up enough for me. But as you know, in the chat, get your score predictions and your goal scores in, and I'll read out a few of them that come through before we end the show. But Kuva, this formation looks pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I kind of like how this is looking. What say you versus the Mad Hatters?
Assuming this is the kind of lineup we're expecting, which it might not be. Maybe some of these players that are declared fit are still not going to be considered by Ange, or just for the bench. So, all in all, you already know my prediction.
Whose jersey though? Cooties?
Oh no, which prediction? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, let's go for Cutie.
So 7-1 then.
7-1 sounds good.
Or
7-3 for the banker.
So wait, who's going to score all these goals then? Is it Son as a left winger?
No, because he's getting left out to rot on the left wing, isn't he?
That's right. They are leaving him out there to rot. In my
No, it's
opinion,
going to be
if he
Sonny
does.
anyway, because it'll prove you wrong about the playing slightly off the left. To
I
the,
love it. Hey, I would love
he'll
it.
just
I
smash in all
hope
7,
so.
break the record, and on his way
right.
to claiming the Golden Boot this season again.
All right. I love that. I'll take that. I think that would put him right there above old Mr. Hall.
Yeah,
Erling
exactly.
Haaland.
It will happen, obviously.
Yeah. I'll run through some of the chat and then I'll give mine. AK's got 4-2 for Tottenham. I like that. That's very nice. Yes, Vicario at center half. We will adjust Richie to the bench. Richie is available. He is available. That's what he said. There's the link for Kuva. You can find more of him at 3 Spurs Boys. Let's see what else. Tom81's got 4-1, Sonny 3, Romero with 1. I like that. A lot of people with a Sonny hat trick, Romero on the score sheet. Dry Roast Peanut says 3-1. Love to see that, my friend. Dragon T's nuts. That's correct. Oppenheimer ball. Tekken says, hey, lads, 2-1 Richie goal. All right. Richie game winner is what it sounds like to me. George says 3-0, Son, Udogi matters. Udogi does matter, by the way. That's a nice little trio of goal scorers. I'll take a 3-0.
Yeah, that's nice there.
Henry says 2-2 Desmond. Drula's got a 4-1. Werner, Sonny Brace, and Janssen. Very nice. Werner even gets... Maybe Werner's starting there for Drula. I don't know. Big up Roy. Hello. How you doing? Paul Tucknott talking to internet guy. Gemini says 2-1 Son. Radu with a header.
I think 2-1, scraping a 2-1 win against Luton with all their injuries, that would be pretty kind of lame.
That'd be bad.
Yeah.
That would not be my most exciting prediction, I would say.
Unless of course they were defending heroically, in which case sometimes you got to hand it to a team that's doing that.
You know, they might do what Georgia did versus Greece in the second half of their Euro qualifier playoff match. Sit 8 people in the box and then just have 2 people kind of roaming up top wherever they want.
Yeah.
It'll stop anyone from scoring, I'll tell you that much. Because
if it wasn't an effective tactic, then nobody would use it.
The sit back and pray.
Yeah.
Oh, the sit back and pray.
I mean, we remember Chelsea winning a bloody Champions League doing that.
They did. They did do that. The frauds. Choose not to remember it, but you're right. They did do that. For me, I said on the last show, I predicted this on the prediction show on This Is Football. I'm going to say a 4-1.
I was going to say, would it help you to put Sonny a little bit more in the middle where you want him? Does that affect your prediction that way?
Watch this.
Yeah, if it was
5-1.
Oh, what an insult to Richie.
I'm just being real. I'm just being so real right now.
That's fine. I'm okay with that.
If Son's through the middle, I feel way more confident in scoring a bunch of goals. Because I feel like there's been times where this system sets up and there's chances that fall to Richarlison that I'm like, if that's Son in the box with that touch, with the team built up that goal, and if it found Son in the box at that moment, he fucking blam, bro, Son would have 4 or 5 more goals if he played all the games in the number 9, in my opinion. Just because, I mean, even in some of the matches we won, some of the matches we drew, I'm just like, I remember... Bro, Son has a first half hat trick versus Brentford, but instead we're losing at halftime. Son would have a brace versus Everton in the first half. You know, these are games that I remember where I'm just like, God, if that's Son, bro, he puts that away. I've seen it. I've seen this story fucking 200 times, so I know what's gonna happen. It's really frustrating, but you know, I wouldn't.
If it was down to me, Jacob would have 3 Sonnies, and that would be the front 3.
Yeah. I'd have a whole...
Unfortunately,
I have a
we
whole
don't,
11,
so we've got to
honestly.
find a way.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Son through the middle. Because the person in the middle is going to be the person who's supposed to score the goals, right? Or the back post, fucking far post guy. But to me, Son, I need me some goals, Sonny. I'm tired of this. Oh, Son doesn't always step up. Look at him versus Fulham. He disappeared. He's not a captain. He's not a man, a muscly, oily man. He's not a big, scruffy, duffy looking man who'll really be like a real man with chest hair. And it's just like, God, I'm so fucking over it. I need Son with a hat trick. I need a hat trick from Son. I need a goal from Kulusevski to show me that Kulusevski still can score goals. I need him to be smart in the final third. And then I think Hymas gets a goal. I need Hymas to step up as well. I don't think he was great versus Fulham. I don't think anyone was good versus Fulham. But I'm just thinking about players that you need to step up. You have to be the guy.
Yeah.
Son, Madison, Kulusevski, no excuse for any of them, my opinion.
I mean, if we don't beat Luton, then even the strongest Ange supporters like myself will be going, "Wow, that's a hard
tough
one to take."
Yeah. If we won 2-1, I would still be like, how did we do so? Like, how are we not good enough? Clearly, there's something wrong.
Well, we know that anyway, don't we?
Well, yeah, my back's fucked up, but some days I'm able to stand up well and it don't hurt that much, you know? And that's what I need. A day where I wake up, hey, I didn't wake up with a fucking crink in my neck, you know?
We
What I
want
need.
to be coming out like Mike Tyson against Jake Paul. That's what you mean.
Did you just reference Jake Paul and Mike Tyson? The abomination that is. Never thought in 2024 I'd say
Ridiculous,
the legend
isn't it?
Mike Tyson's boxing some
Are we
dude
going to
from
talk about
YouTube.
that?
What?
How much of a ridiculous matchup that is? How it should.
I hope Mike Tyson knocks him the fuck out, personally.
I hope he severely hurts him. I really do. He'd deserve it. How dare Jake Paul think he's a professional boxer? He isn't. He's a doorman.
Well,
He's
he started out as a
that can hit
YouTuber.
hard.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's what I would say a privileged child. He's from an affluent family. They're from Puerto Rico in a nice area. And him and his brother had nothing else to do with the nepotism that they started a YouTube thing. And it went really well. And they became millionaires off of it, doing stupid shit online. No, Tyson hasn't fought any of them. Tyson hasn't fought anybody in years. So hopefully Mike knocks him out, man.
Last I saw of Tyson, he was using a walking stick and reportedly smoking lots of marijuana to ease his back pain.
Yeah, a lot of marijuana. He's opened up gummies. He has his whole strain. He's like a ambassador. Yeah. So,
however, I've also seen videos of him still training, and I still think.
Well, I'm saying you get anyone getting punched by some of those jabs, those uppercuts, those little. Oh, buddy, I don't care how old he is. You'd never pay me to fight that fucker. So hey, big up to Jake. Yeah, and they did make the gloves bigger, so that way Jake could. Hopefully his face can remain on his face is what their hope is. I would love nothing more than to see. I would love.
Oops, there he goes again. Classic Jacob. Has he left the stream entirely? That's the question. Oh, we'll just carry on then. Comments section. He's back again.
Oh, I hate that, man. When I just like, it's like a little.
You do that kind of thing quite often, I've noticed.
Yeah, it's because I'm not completely like scrolling.
It's a kind of subconscious self-loathing thing going on there.
Yeah, just like, real quick, I need
crying out for help. We're here for you, man.
Oh man, but yeah, I think a 4-1, 5-1 will do for me versus the Mad Hatters, and I'll feel a little bit better about everything. I don't see us keeping a clean sheet. I see us offering them a couple of chances on the counter, and I see them at least capitalizing on one. They've got an ability to score. They've shown that, but their injuries should prove to be far too much for them to cope with. When we were missing 6 fuckers, we look like shit. So I hope the same runs true for them.
Jacob, do we have Mickey van der Ven?
Technically, yes.
Do we have right? If he play, okay. So if he plays, and do we have a Vicario?
You must you must have had a great view of that.
Wow, unbelievable from the back. Yeah.
So there you go. Our defense is fine, mate. Don't worry about it.
You didn't ask about another defender.
No, because he's going to be playing further forward. He's going to be getting some goals as Romero.
Oh yeah, he's got 4. He's got more goals than a certain somebody striker in North London, by the way. But I ain't naming
He has, hasn't
any
he?
names.
Yeah.
But big up. If you need assistance, Jacob, I could send someone round for 50. What does that mean? What kind of assistance? What does that mean?
Perhaps the technical issues with you pressing the wrong button.
Well, technically, it's not a pressing of a button that I did wrong. I'm trying to scroll down on the trackpad on my laptop, and I kind of do it diagonally. And when I do it too diagonally, it's like, oh, you're trying to swipe for back. That's like back on the browser, and it takes me out of the fucking studio. So isn't that very sweet? I don't know what you mean there, George, but I think I'm okay. I think I'm good.
It doesn't matter what he means. The point is, George is here to help if you need it. That's good to know.
Yeah. Thank you, George. Always being here.
George. Yeah.
Big shout out to George as well for being a sponsor of tonight's episode with a membership gifted. Look, we are going to leave the show there in the sanctity of time. I want to get Kula back to bear.
It's reference to the Levy thing with the 50% pricing for.
Oh, I get it now. Yes, I do need your help, and you will have to pay. But also, thank you for being a sponsor.
Too much show went past, didn't it? It was like,
yeah, just like, there it goes. Woo! And big up Taka for spontaneously just sending £2 for no other reason than to send £2. Big up for that, my friend. And if you haven't already, make sure to do hit that like. Big up, Jess. Appreciate the gentle reminder there. Kuva, you have any final thoughts before we say goodnight?
None whatsoever. My head is completely empty now, ready for the game.
I'm ready for the game as well. I will be live tomorrow on We Are Tottenham TV before the game, and then I'll be doing a watch-along live right here for the match. Hopefully we'll see you all here. No need to apologize, George.
I should do the double plug, really, shouldn't I?
Yeah,
that's something I didn't think I'd say.
It did sound odd, yeah. But hey, do it.
Bobby K and I are doing Kuvan the Kang tomorrow evening, 10:30, 9:30 or 10:30, I can't remember. So we'll be doing our usual sort of stupid games and everything with a definite theme for a certain troll in the community that we're going to be ripping apart as we were earlier in the week. So just a little idea of what's going to happen there. And after that, certainly going to be hopping over to Jess's channel and JSY Talks Football, because they do a Saturday stream as well. That's a lot of fun, but they go on for like 14 hours straight or something silly. It's like, so we'll be hopping over there after. So big shout out to them as well, because they got a channel that really is in tune with our kind of nonsense.
Very nice.
I like it. You've been on as well, haven't you, Jacob?
Kuvan the King I have, but not on Jess, no.
I thought you had that. I'm sure they said you were on.
I've been in the chat. I've been in their chat a lot, but
I have not, that was all it was,
they haven't invited me on, so it's not for my lack of desire, so to speak.
But... you got to get on there. I'm telling you.
Well, let them know. Let them know. Invite is just an invite away.
Yeah, of course.
But big up. Make sure you are subscribed to JSY Talks Football. Make sure you are subscribed. Big up George for dropping the link for 3 Spurs Boys. Make sure you are subscribed there. You can find some more Kuvan the Kang tomorrow. But that'll do it for us here as my wife pops her beautiful face into the studio. I'm ending the show, I promise. So big up to everyone. Make sure you hit the like, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Again, shout out to the sponsors of tonight's episode. Do me a couple favors. Hopefully we'll see you tomorrow during the watch long, but if not, stay blessed, stay fresh. I want you to up the lads, and as always, come on, you Spurs.
America, with your hosts, Michael and Jacob.